Welcome back to the LCS Dome, powered by State Farm. Riv and Kobe here to deliver you this best of 5 playoff series between Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves. And the heist was thwarted in game 1. They were off to a great start, got a flat tire along the way, and the masterminds of Evil Geniuses took it right back.
Yeah, I mean, they ran straight into Goldenglue, and honestly, it was a big mid-difference game. Goldenglue absolutely just bullied Ryoma straight up. Blew his flash 1v1 off screen during the replay, and then absolutely trounced him later on. Scaled up really well with the Orianna, multiple team plays for himself. So I'm looking again at the mid lane champion pool here coming into game number 2. Obviously, as I said in game number 1, I think Galio is the go-to #1 most important pick for 100 Thieves. Ryoma has looked great on it. They are undefeated with it. I don't expect 100 Thieves to get it. EG, once again, will keep that consistent blue side and red side, banning away the Galio. And honestly, I don't see a reason for them to change because the Twisted Fate from Ryoma was definitely lacking.
It was. We didn't see an explosive 6. That was about the time that Svenskeren really started making work happen, and I think, as you said, the pressure from Goldenglue just made it not work as well, as he wasn't able to leave lane right away from the 100 Thieves side. Senna and Morgana are your final bans here in the first phase, and now what is priority for the Thieves? Is it a flex? Is it something where they just blind pick, and it's just going to be a Tahm Kench? They don't want to show too much. Maybe.
The blind first pick Tahm Kench,
okay,
that would be incredible to me. That would be kind of nuts with Caitlyn available.
I saw it stop blinking for a second, and I was like, I
was like, no freaking way. Are you kidding me, 100 Thieves? All right, Caitlyn, we're back to normal here, back to reality. Caitlyn is left up. Caitlyn is first picked. That is how the tier list should go. Her range advantage for lane is so good, pushing. Even with the Morgana band, you don't have to pick Caitlyn with, the guaranteed bind combination into trap everybody loves. Yes, it is great. Caitlyn still loves this style, though. There are multiple other supports you can fit in with a Caitlyn that still can push your lane and poke your opponents under tower. That is the main goal of this champion. You're trying to harass them. You're trying to whittle down and get turret plate money for your team, trying to be an area of aggression.
Up against the Ashe. I always love an Ashe Karma lane. It's annoying as heck. But
yeah, and it does have the tools to try and fight back versus Caitlyn's range. So they should both be looking for range supports, in my opinion. The Ashe can do really well into the Caitlyn. That's why it's one of the most picked into it. If you have a support by your side that can lend more poking power, more of that range advantage. The Karma is definitely a big one, but I also really like Lux and even Zyra. Those types of things should, I think, be more prominent in the professional picks here. But we're going to close it back out with another Renekton into Shen.
Yeah. We did get this a little bit yesterday. Huni back on the Shen. Okay. Yeah, he did fare well in lane. Shen is pretty powerful when played correctly if you get the right stride through with your sword in lane. So we'll see if he can get that down against Renekton and how much control they get from the junglers here. Svenskeren back on the Graves. Contractz back on the Nidalee. Kind of a run-it-back situation for the junglers. They're feeling good on those. And we have Bard coming out against Poome. So they start to focus the champion pool.
Yeah, I really am glad that we're going to see some more testing on the champion pools here because especially the Lux, I feel like people have been slow to pick up. That's one of the ones that's gained a lot of extra power with the change, especially to the W for Lux recently. So see if they want to go with it. That being said, I always like seeing Zeyzal on engaged supports. Of course, everybody thinks of his Alistar and the flanks that he can pull off there. But they are banning out some of the ranged ones. Thresh, of course, following there as well. Since Morgana is banned, Thresh is a huge playmaker, and definitely don't want to let them hit their hands on that.
I think in due time, though, for things like Lux. Like, you're inching towards the Morgana, which isn't as punishable if you miss the bind. Lux, a bit more so if you miss the bind. You just get run down trying to throw out an E and slow. But yeah, I think we're getting there, Kobe. We can
All right, well, let's see. What is it going to be then? EG, you get first chance at the support role. I think they should definitely save their counter pick here for Goldenglue once again. He deserves it after his performance in game number 1. So they should go support here, waiting to see what Ryoma will play. That being said, there's a lot of blind mids that Ryoma can go for. The Zoe is up for him. One of his favorites, Orianna, also extremely good blind. So I'd expect one of those two 400 Thieves. The Syndra, even despite the 10-16 nerfs, still been very popular. So, you know, Zoe, Syndra, Orianna, all definitely viable. And they steal away the Tahm Kench. Okay, they don't want to let, you know, Devour out of Ashe arrows be a thing. I love the punish here. Blitzcrank is so good versus Tahm Kench. Not only can you pull into Tahm Kench after he devours somebody, but you can also ultimate off the shield from thick skin. When Blitzcrank pops the ultimate, you destroy the shields. So he has so many counters to Tahm Kench. I love it here. They're actually putting Poome up on a pedestal. Support counter pick. We'll see how well they can use it.
Ryoma gets some damage here. Yeah, Poome gets the chance to show up on this game, create those impact plays, and we'll see if the pressure gets to him or he gets to Evil Geniuses. Twisted Fate's going to be locked in for Goldenglue. He's going to want to be omnipresent this game. They have that with Shen as well, and a little bit of Tahm Kench Abyssal Voyage to follow up on these arrows. So EG definitely has their mindset on one thing, and 100 Thieves get a bit of their composition back together from last game and add a bit more power.
Yeah, they still have the strong Renekton Nidalee synergy. Of course, W into Spear. That's always going to be true, no matter even if you're Shen and you can you know, try and block autos. The timing on that is so difficult to try and you know, avoid Renekton there. So I think Ssumday will still be able to get that set up if they need. We have seen already the Renekton into Shen played, and the Shen neutralizing Renekton early and then being a better split pusher, a better you know, team tank, and being able to bring the stand united. So everyone's like, oh my God, Shen's just way better in all areas. But I don't think that should be the case. That shouldn't be how the matchup plays out. Renekton should be able to get this advantage, should be able to try and bully the Shen, especially if you have you know, a Nidalee aggressive jungler trying to help you out in that avenue. And I do expect 100 Thieves to try and attack the Shen, attack the source of the global, so that EG don't get to, you know, make their map plays. That is a little bit more difficult since Goldenglue picked up the Twisted Fate for himself, and you can try and cover for the Shen. You have two globals looking to play defense for each other.
As well as, do they keep going for Huni? Does he absorb? You know, Evil Genius is now up 1-0, putting the pressure on, and they were able to shut down a very good early game from 100 Thieves, which I expect to be something they hit again immediately. Putting their own kind of play into action is where 100 Thieves thrives from. Once they kind of have to react and come back, it seems like they're reacting to hopefully Ssumday creating the play, and they have an advantage once again to filter through that. So definitely going to be tough. Evil Genius is on the prowl here for more kills, and we'll see if they can get the victory here. Like you said, Goldenglue coming out strong. Now he's going to be on the TF, so I feel like we're going to see him all over the map at a quick level 6.
Yeah, if he...
And go ahead.
If he bullies... Ryoma, yeah, I thought we were going into another video. If he bullies... if he bullies Ryoma with and against the Twisted Fate, that can cause some mental boom in a series, you know, back-to-back games. So a lot of pressure on here. Oh, Blitzcrank pull.
Kenny throw out that Lancer hook. Oh, Contractz just goes straight into the brush, down to 250 HP immediately. He'll pull on the bang as he takes damage back. It's going to be a 5v5 brawl to start it out. Game 2 is on fire. It's going to be Evil Geniuses coming out with first blood. Bad car.
Oh, yep. Huni able to get the taunt, and Evil Geniuses, they get a solid win in game number 1 into a first blood level 1 for game number 2. That's got to be so demoralizing. Contractz there into the brush, gets stacked up here. Tahm Kench is actually very good level 1 because of that threat. Then Huni goes in to taunt Blitzcrank here. Poome can't get out, and Evil Geniuses punish the attempted counter invade. Game number 1, 100 Thieves were able to get it off. They sweeper, they walk through, and they're able to steal away the red buff. Game number 2, they try it, and EG slap down the hand. Don't let them get away with it again.
Nope. Still more hooks to come. Hopefully it doesn't kind of temper those. I want to see them coming out all the time. You miss all the hooks you don't throw, right? So just hook them. 2 minutes on the clock, and we've already had a bit of action here. I absolutely love that it was a 5v5. Another hook's going to connect for a tiny bit of trade damage in the aftershock, as it's just a peacemaker push here from Cody Sun. They're trying to get Bang and Zeyzal into the turret to harass with that Caitlyn damage. Upgraded W as he gets that Predator down, and empowered ferocity as he heads back to lane to farm. So 1 CS for Huni as he's letting that go right to the turret, and he should be able to clean up quite a bit here.
Yep. See how many of these he can get under the tower. Ssumday, nice push and roam for himself. Renekton, you always want to try and get deep vision on the enemy jungle when you push up like this. Try and get into the tower, then you buy yourself some time. He's gone and put his ward over on Krugs, so we'll be able to see the end of Svenskeren's route. And Sven this time around just going for the power clear, straight blue side up to red side. Thankfully this time around for him, since they won the level 1, he will actually have a red side to clear.
That cleanse from Cody Sun on Ryoma right now from the early fight. He just gets the stand in front of Goldenglue. He's like, where's that gold card you have? Makes it fun for Goldenglue in the mid lane. And still just about the 70% marker, 80% as Huni gets the farm semi-safely. Ssumday finds a way to get damage in, knows when he can get in and out, not taking too much damage from a giant caster wave, which is one that'll definitely catch you off guard if you stand there too long with aggro. But here we're playing for the top side. Svenskeren sweeps through, and his path will be away from what would have been this counter gank. So Contractz heads off for now, not seeing anything.
Yeah, he's actually going for the scuttle while Svenskeren has his eyes on mid lane towards a gank, and Contractz chases the scuttle down there towards him, and they get sight of Svenskeren. So that kind of saves Ryoma from the potential gank from Graves here, and Contractz will be able to pick up that top scuttle. But since he spent a lot of time making his way straight towards the top side to defend against a possible Graves gank, that would relieve some of the Renekton pressure. He is behind in camps this time around to the Graves, so Svenskeren can easily just take bottom crab instead. No reason to try and contest up on the top triangle of the map where, you know, 100 Thieves have the advantage with pushing Renekton, pushing Zoe. It makes it so difficult as a jungler to ever try and contest that.
Waves ebbing, flowing back and forth now. EG has control of bot for a time being. Svenskeren's in no mood to push up into the jungle. They're still just slow clearing. It seems like things are a little tempered after our first fight. There's some summoners being blown there, and everybody just kind of resetting with what kills and early buys they could get in. Attack back to top. Ssumday hasn't left this spot, though. He has had full push the whole time, so finally pulling Contractz up one more time. That Predator strikes up, and we got a TP coming for them as well. It's going to be a 3v1. Quick kill for Ryoma as he just pops in for a quick hello and heads right back down to mid.
Exactly. Renekton into Shen shouldn't allow this Shen to have a free lane and scale up and you be more useful to the team. You need to attack it. So good job here for 100 Thieves playing around their draft. Again, they focus on the top side. Ryoma's up there immediately with his teleport on Zoe, and they make the dive good on Shen. Huni then forced to teleport towards mid lane for some info here. I actually like the rotation because there's going to be a recall for 100 Thieves, and since you have kind of the move over from Goldenglue, Huni will just take up mid lane, try and push that one out for themselves too, and that buys you time to reset the waves.
I like this a lot. So Huni pushes up. Canaway is going to be there for a bit, which gives them, like you said, time to reset back and get themselves into position. Might be able to do a little bit of jungle presence here with warding together as they head through. And they'll do that quickly with the Scryer's Bloom. But good teamwork from EG, switching things up, trying to stay on top as 100 Thieves pulling back a few kills here. Evil Geniuses says, well, we need to do something as well. Ssumday going to lose the first bit of this fight, but should have the resulting one with a bit of heal here. Huni's going to get chased out. Ssumday back on ferocity above 50%, looking for that stun to come up or maybe double heal off of a champion, and that's what he does.
And you have to be worried once you see the fully stacked Conqueror for Renekton once again as Huni, even though if you're looking at the trade and you get initial good signs from Shen, oh hey, you know, you got a Q pass through, you got some good initial damage there.
Yeah.
Renekton can definitely win it on the backside with fully stacked Conqueror. Here we go, bottom side though.
Ooh, Contractz getting trailed by Svenskeren here that turns this fight around for 100 Thieves. Contractz very low to going down. Goldenglue now has to shield himself out of this fight as he gets in quick with the Destiny. And it's Ssumday now on the other side. They're trying to pincer, but it does not look like it's going to work. Ryoma's the only one that can save this. And can he devour? Saves Huni as they get another kill onto Ssumday. And now Ryoma's the one who might be out of position. Sven's still alive somehow as Evil Geniuses skirts out of dying on this one. But 100 Thieves are right on their coattails.
And I think they just get out of it, Riv. EG with another successful use of the Stand United. This time around, even though there's a teleport disadvantage, so Ssumday gets a teleport down bottom side, after he starts channeling his teleport, he can't interrupt the Stand United. So they get it to come in and save Goldenglue. Really good hook there by Poome to put Goldenglue under pressure. If it wasn't for Stand United, they would have been able to take him down. And then, once he arrives, 5 people still alive here for EG. So even though roam down from Ryoma, they got a really good stun on Ssumday to lock him up, make sure he couldn't use the rest of his fully stacked Rage Bar there, getting everybody out alive. Smoke screen from Svenskeren finishes up the escape.
Just flying around. So hard to make a play for Contractz. He was there, Svenskeren was behind him, and it didn't look too bad, but then you have to remember Twisted Fate can be anywhere, and they add another one to the fight immediately.
Double globals.
Double globals. It's always the saying, a new challenger approaches is going to happen quite a bit this game. Yeah. 8.5 minutes on the clock, Kobe.
And it means that bottom side is always so scary for you to play off of during those cooldowns. Now there's an opening, in the cooldowns in the windows for those globals, but anytime you're looking to focus that side, obviously you have to worry about double. Here goes Contractz though, spotted on the ward and taunted right up.
Oh, just the health bars in general. Huni could stay there for days and take this fight. Contractz pushed out of his jungle and having a much different jungle adventure than game 1, where he was controlling much of the game, much of the camps with a 3-buff start. This time he's getting pushed around, and Rift Herald will be started by Evil Geniuses. Headed over to Svenskeren here, and we'll see what they decide to use this.
Yeah, they don't want to keep the Ashe and Tahm Kench lane versus the Caitlyn, because Cody Sun will continue to push them in, bully, cause them to drop CS, and it's actually a good swap here for Evil Geniuses to get something out of it instead. You swap up for the Rift Herald, try and get your Ashe away from the Caitlyn for a little while. Cody Sun pushes the wave in, has been able to get a decent amount. Oh! Great grab.
Oh! Just misses the spear as he throws it up towards Bang. Flashes out of that situation. Unfortunate error coming out there from 100 Thieves to miss that kill, and they lose out on an opportunity.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard sometimes when Blitzcrank pulls him in, because it looks like it's a little bit closer.
For sure.
And it goes wide on the spear. No burst damage there. That does allow Bang to flash out. So he's still alive on the Ashe, although it is going to mean that he's going to have a bit more difficult of a time, have to worry about a lot more. No flash means you rely completely on Zeyzal with the Devour for your safety.
Poome's about to get a little bit stronger in this matchup as he hits 6 with that Blitzcrank static charge ult.
They planning a Stand United here, because Stand United and Twisted Fate ult are both up.
They go in, maybe they can get him on a Devour here. He's actually locked down solid, and they are going to be able to chomp him up. Poome doesn't even need to. That kill goes over to Bang and set up. Played well. Evil Geniuses mastermind another kill on the top side.
And because they have the Rift Herald, you don't have to lose out on that trade. You just get full benefits of going for the global play. You get down 2 turret plates, auto attack these here, then spawn the Rift Herald while it's arming. You basically get to auto attack down the 3rd turret plate, and you can get a whole tower that way. So even though you leave your bottom side open again, you leave the door open for Ssumday's Renekton.
Here
we saw in game number 1 the exact same strategy here. They let the Renekton push in, get turret plates for himself, but they commit hard to the top side. They will get the whole turret for themselves. First turret bonus. 100 Thieves, it's good for Contractz to also get the dragon out of it, so they don't fully lose out on this trade, but it's still another really strong proactive use here for Evil Geniuses, and they didn't have to expend a lot of extra cooldowns.
Kind of rinse and repeat on top side for 100 Thieves too. They wanted Huni, they killed Huni, and the pressure towards Huni in that little bit of time just seemed to let EG figure out how they wanted to move the map. And even in that first kill, we saw them rotate Goldenglue top. Huni teleported immediately. The cannon waves allowed them to go back to lane. Really, like you said, not losing too much tempo in the situation of losing the Shen in top lane. Sunfire Cape completed for Huni, so when he can get to minion waves, they'll push ever so slightly faster as he goes hard on that. 2K gold lead for Evil Geniuses here as we're setting up 4 minutes on our next Drake. 100 Thieves was able to grab that cloud though.
Yeah, and it is definitely a prize. Like, you know, a Cloud Drake by itself isn't going to give you a huge, you know, bonus, just it by itself. But it does mean, you know, the team with all these extra globals that is going to try and split push you won't also, you know, have neutral objectives to rely upon. And this time around, EG did not draft, you know, this super strong, much better 5-on-5 later game, you know, scaling composition. Right. They invested all their draft resources into these double globals, which you do need to use in creating these plays. So it's not the same sort of game plan as game number 1. And 100 Thieves would do well to, you know, keep that focus on their objectives. Cody Sun just farming away here very nicely on the Caitlyn. Will be an out for them later. You can always try and siege up. You have double poke with Zoe and Nidalee, as well as Caitlyn traps, going a very long way.
Looking a bit at the gold and who has what to spend there. That's a great point. 100 Thieves get that, not Rift Herald, but first Drake objective. Can't wait to see what happens when the teams have to meet for that poke damage. For Ssumday getting these flanks, we know him so well for being able to create so many opportunities, having a deep ward, and that's going to be big as well for Poome to be able to hit these options and hooks.
Yeah,
finding
and that
target.
That cleanse is going to get a lot of work for Cody Sun. He's going to probably have to keep burning his cleanse on cooldown because gold cards, Ashe arrows, everything is going to be coming his way. Contractz does get seen by the sweeper, so shouldn't be too big of a confrontation here. Twisted Fate backing up the Graves invade.
Well, they say no real quick on that one. Sven takes quite a bit of damage. They blast on each other backwards as Ryoma has a bit of the trail here on mid, but he's going to be the focus for a moment. This fight is split. Ssumday seems to want to help Ryoma on this one. Abyssal Voyage comes back into the fight to deter any entrance from Ssumday's engage, and that will be enough to make sure everybody lives and resets. A lot used on that, though, for summoner spells.
Yeah, I think it was actually a pretty good half commitment from Contractz. Whenever you're playing versus a team with Shen, it's a very kind of scary game to play where you jump in, do enough burst damage to get the Shen Stand United out, but then you have to be ready to disengage. And they used a Blast Cone pretty effectively there, and he's able to get the Stand United out while not fully committing and being punished with a kill on the inside.
Uh-oh. Bang. Bang, better be loaded up and ready for this one. Oh, the teleport comes in as enough. Bang gets himself out. The flash has to be used there, but very awesome play by him to keep himself alive in what would have been a quick 4v1 death. Huni now rotating out. The omnipresent play of this team is helping him. He goes down after the chase in the jungle as 100 Thieves just not giving up on these plays.
Yep, it's not about the skill shots you miss. It's about the skill shots you throw out. Just keep on throwing them out here. Zoe, Nidalee, Blitzcrank, all trying to throw out these very punishable skill shots. They do find a secondary target, even though a Bang doesn't get hit by any of them. They'll be happy to take the kill onto Huni as well. That was his teleport off the Shen. Another of those global cooldowns wasted away as they also get the kill and tower for themselves.
A good move here as well on top by EG. A little bit of rebuttal on, okay, he took bot. We saw pings immediately from Svenskeren as he gritted over and started taking out this Rift. Zeyzal will be there to help. Zeyzal's going to head back to mid. We'll see what Svenskeren goes, as that's one of the turrets they need to take down with this Rift Herald. We'll see if he leaves right away.
And Dragon number 2 very quickly approaching. So, especially if you're a team with Caitlyn, you always want to get early setup on these objectives. Early levels, she doesn't have as many traps to put down, so you kind of have to pick and choose the higher value areas to put them in the smaller corridors. Cool. Arrow lands.
Okay, safe. Holding your breath. Almost a big fight there. Oh, Svenskeren gets chunked out. Ryoma finding a very nice shot onto the jungler. That'll help, especially with these objectives coming up, but they have to be careful. Ryoma's now getting pinched in. A gold card can really put him in a bad spot. But he's going to be fine as he puts Goldenglue to sleep real quick. It just walks right through the enemy's arms.
And there you go. Dragon number 2. 100 Thieves continue stacking, keeping their eyes on their win condition. They know that, again, EG, they're a much different team comp this time around, trying to play the map, trying to split push them to death. So if you focus on stacking your dragons, you will have that soul to try and draw them to you instead. And Ssumday still just plowing through the side lanes here on the Renekton. 149 for him, CS for himself. Huni losing so much off of all these plays he's going to the team with that, you know, you face up this Renekton now. It's Conquer Bork already completed. Black Cleaver will be very quick to follow. And it's going to be, again, super one-sided in those 1v1s. And Ssumday will be a big one for 100 Thieves to try and play off in those side lanes. And we saw the transitions from them to try and cover their bases with, you know, Ryoma moving over to try and cover 2 people pushing on top side and saving some health on the turret, going a long way to stall out that plan.
Ssumday waiting in the wing for that wave to get pushed up a little bit more. He wants to see what he can do to Huni. As we're into the mid with our marksmen, kind of slowing things down here as we come up onto 20 minutes. Baron and this next Ocean Drake, which has changed our rift, are going to slow things down so they can get to play for it. But wards definitely have to be pushed forward here if this poke comp, or what poke they have for 100 Thieves, can land on their targets. Right now, a little bit of that jungle is owned by EG.
Yeah, an Ocean Soul 2 is just so good for a poke comp. I mean, you love to siege up with Caitlyn traps who kind of wall off an area so it's hard for your opponents to engage on you. And then you just throw out your poke constantly. One lands, you gain a huge advantage because everyone on your team heals back up and the opponents have no kind of rebuttal there. And it's up to EG then, at that point, to try and get the hard engage, get the quicker team fight, and they have to then hit an Ashe arrow because other than that, it does start to become difficult. So let's see if EG can keep up their split push plan here. They need to move this game state forward with only 1 outer tower down at 20 minutes. They do start to feel a little bit worried here as dragon stacking will start to close in. Ssumday, though, caught in a spot.
Poome's pushing up. As Ssumday gets caught, he's going to try to silence the team, and he does. That could slow down EG for a moment, but they still have a big attack on this one going forward. They take down Contractz, and Ssumday gets out alive. Mid-turret stands here, but Evil Geniuses is gaining ground ever so slightly, and it's between the objective fights. Usually you see a lull in the game. It's over a ward. This one was just kind of in mid. They went 5v5 for it real quick.
But it will be huge rewards if they can actually get this tower down. Because we're just talking about how they need to open up this map. The outer towers are a big objective for double global compositions. It gives you so much more area to work with and find those Ashe Arrow Twisted Fate ultimate picks that you're looking for. So Ryoma once again doing the work, clearing the minions, trying to keep their outer defenses standing to allow 100 Thieves to be able to set up for the next dragon.
A bit more healing with that Unthiev's Unholy Grail contract, so lasting in these fights ever so long, or slightly longer.
Yep, it's so effective with Nidalee, right? Because you land a spear, you get a bunch of charges with your damage, then your heals is actually big. Speed. And I love it when it's on Caitlyn teams because not only do you get your sieging synergy where Caitlyn likes to do exact same thing, but the attack speed boost is very significant with it as well.
Goldenglue warming up those hands, making sure he's ready. Gets back out into lane as he's coming from base here. A few items for him finished as his Rod of Ages is stacked up. He is in split push power now with that Lich Bane up and his ability to teleport twice, almost coming up with Destiny almost there. Huni has taken to a side lane already, and we will now see Goldenglue go towards top here as he starts this off. So let's see if 100 Thieves notices. They do have a few windows for this poke to hit, land, and make it work. Zeyzal's job, keep Bang alive at all costs. Oh my word. So close.
All right, Ashe Arrow will be up for the dragon. 40 seconds though. Yep, there it go.
They turn, get a flash, get a pull. Oh, he ate him up as he was flying through the air. Bang's gonna be all right though. He understood what happened. He got himself right out of the belly of Zeyzal. That was interesting though, as they almost got themselves killed. Svenskeren got a teleport coming down the other side, so 100 or EG will be safe here. As Sven having another stellar game, 3-0-2 for him, 1-0 and 2 or 3 for the Swole Bros. Deathless once again as they go for this next Drake. 9 seconds on it. Here's where the poke comp comes into play for 100 Thieves, but again, they don't have that vision. They're going to be throwing blind, and they need to make each one of these count. Bang, over the wall, has the ability to hawk shot this back out and make sure they have all eyes on 100 Thieves. As Goldenglue actually sees the team. Poome gets hit up as the hook goes out. That'll definitely relieve a little bit of pressure, but cooldowns are high right now, so they have to be wary of the next hook.
Yeah, that poke is going to stick here. Svenskeren and Goldenglue both chunked out to 50% before it starts. Meanwhile, only Poome is low on 100 Thieves, so they're going to start it up. They really want to force the early Ocean Soul for themselves. And EG kind of backing away. Svenskeren looking for the steal.
He's behind. He's just laughing at this Drake, not knowing what to do. Drake's resetting. It's not. Looks like he's actually going to be able to get it for himself. No, the steal goes over to Contractz. They're going to be able to get Ocean out of that poke comp, but now EG is running full freight train over the wall, and they're going to try to get the fight for themselves. Poome almost going down, but he stays alive long enough to get a kill for his marksman. And this is just a fight that went in favor of Evil Geniuses in the end. Evil Geniuses now push mid, and what an exchange after the Drake was taken. They were not happy.
Cody Sun got his cleanse back up.
Yeah, that key, he needs it.
Yeah, that key is going to get a lot of work here. Going to have to spam the cleanses with all the pick that EG have. But it ends up being 3 kills and the remains of that outer tower taken by EG. And since it is the third Drake and not the actual soul itself, you know, maybe it is, you know, pretty close of a trade, but man, this steal from Contractz where he just Cougar form hops over the edge and kind of drive-by smites this dragon is pretty impressive. So let's take another look at it here. You see them, you know, watching out for the flank. They do get the Shen stand united. Contractz just hops over the side, and then he's even able to get himself out, causing Svenskeren to have to flash over him. In the end, good chase here from EG, because they need to punish after that. When that smite steal occurs, that is a big win for 100 Thieves, and you need to get as much as you possibly can in exchange for it. So chasing down the extra kills and breaking that mid turret will definitely be good, but setting up 100 Thieves for this Ocean Soul is definitely props to Contractz landing the smite.
Huge stuff. Contractz loves being aggressive, loves the pressure. We see it all the time with his gameplay and even his picks. Again, into the pits, out of the pits. He's looking to create opportunities. He gets info on EG. It's the info game right now. Numbers, though, are at Baron, so they don't need any more information to fight this one out. The top laners are roaming up from bottom here as they don't want to initiate the teleports to start this. Seeing that these fights are now going to be a bit extended gives a few more options on that rotation.
Yeah, and you see there, Cody Sun bought a Quicksilver Sash in addition to having cleanse.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing there's so much pick potential on his opponent team that it's going to get a lot of work out, so he was able to get immediate reward there. Using the Quicksilver Sash to get out of this one while the cleanse was still on cooldown. And this is where they want to be, sieging up so you can just throw out your Zoe bubbles, your Nidalee spears when your poke lands.
Watching for where these heals are going if they're onto Contractz right now. Or I'm sorry, onto Cody Sun, give him that attack speed, charge up these headshots. Definitely makes an advantage in these plays. Also trap lines. Gotta watch out for those. Zeyzal may just be eating those up right now. Team pushes forward though is Huni again. They're just doing sentry with their bodies, grabbing info, thinking of the fight. Svenskeren on the side here. Could smoke screen and just get this one in favor of EG. Looks like they may wait until full commitment on the mid turret goes 100 Thieves. They did not do that though. 100 Thieves doesn't have that much vision pressed forward, so they don't know what's right behind that turret or on either side.
Their siege is just so good as we move through this game. So if they can stay safe like that, they bait out the Shen stand united, and a Shen stand united going down like that at the tower with no catch for EG is a big thing here for 100 Thieves. Now, Ashe Arrow, Twisted Fate's ultimate, Shen ultimate, all on cooldown. And there's another window where 100 Thieves get to continue farming out here where they don't have to worry about that pick. That is going to be one of the main goals for them. EG really need to make it work, actually. Gold card into a Zeyzal dive.
Ssumday in a fight for his life as Poome just on the other end trying to help. A third teleport's going to come in. He's going to silence him under the turret. Great silence. Poome picks up a kill onto Zeyzal for this one, and it's going to be drowsied on to the members of 100 Thieves. Going down is Ssumday. Poome's going to fall after, and this is just a slaughter under the turret for 100 Thieves, or Evil Geniuses. It looks like 100 Thieves was going to grab it with teleporting everybody down. Fused me, and EG comes up with a fight.
Yeah, EG pushing the tempo here with just the summoner teleport for Huni rather than waiting for Stand United. An Abyssal Voyage from Zeyzal does start it out. They, in the end, only get one extra kill off of it and trade mid tower for the bottom tower, so there's not huge rewards there. But they do burn a little bit of a cooldown there from the side of 100 Thieves. Man, all right, Ssumday here. It's not too threatening initially of a dive because there's not a lot of damage, just the Tahm Kench. Nobody was brought with him under the tower for the Abyssal Voyage, but once Svenskeren gets there, Ssumday knows he's gonna have to use his stopwatch, buys them some time. And with the counter here from 100 Thieves bringing Ryoma down as well, they do get those counter kills. Here we go, Riv. Ocean Soul fight. Can they land the poke?
Oh, Zeyzal gets pulled in. That's going to be the Stand United as well for a bigger shield. Huni's in, the kill going into Poome, who initiated that fight, hoping the team could follow up with some damage. But EG is just firing on all cylinders right now. Svenskeren looking for the flank around, tries to get a bit of chip damage down onto the team as he throws out an ultimate now. And EG is just tempting 100 Thieves into a fight.
It has to be a big Zoe bubble to hit. Ryoma needs to chunk people out. EG!
That's exactly the way EG had to do it. Don't let the poke comp even get in place to poke. Now that might be a problem. 100 Thieves put themselves entirely into the pit versus Evil Geniuses. This has to be a play from Ssumday. If he can start spinning, he can start winning. Only one call to meet comes out. EG Bang now firing back as he is cocked and loaded. And that is going to be Evil Geniuses coming up big on that fight to stop Soul and also take a few with him.
Ooh, they bought themselves 5 more minutes, Riv. Evil Geniuses find the kill onto Poome. They punish him. Shen, Stand United comes in, and even though Huni missed his flash afterwards to get more people with that taunt, they still get the dragon. They stave off that Ocean Soul, which is the huge decider for 100 Thieves.
A lot of spawns coming out of this. The whole, top half of the map has seen themselves going down on that one. Cody Sun, 3-0-2 with a 400 gold bounty. Now, he has been the protected on this Caitlyn. And they did come in with that first pick. They were thinking it would be something huge for him, and he's feeling good on it now with that Quicksilver Sash, keeping him alive. Stormrazor Infinity Edge, and now he's looking for a bit more attack speed.
Poome also picking up a Quicksilver Sash for himself, trying to keep him safe on the front lines. Blitzcrank, you always try and play super aggressive out there, so he knows he's going to get hit with something at some point that he's going to have to cleanse off. And let's take another look at it, because as we get towards these late objectives, we're going to have more moments like that where you have the setup. And 100 Thieves really need to land their poke. They chunk down Bang and Svenskeren pretty early in the fight, so even though they're kind of corralled in the back of the pit, Ssumday and Contractz can jump out and they can threaten the back line, picking up those extra kills on the outside. And Cody Sun, with Caitlyn's range, gets to stay over the back of the Dragon Pit the whole time. He picks up 2 kills for himself, funding the crit build here for Caitlyn, and playing off the biggest strength of 100 Thieves in this draft, their range. The poke, grouping up, sieging, Caitlyn traps, Caitlyn range firing away. This is going to be their strength that they try and play off of. Yes, they did hit a speed bump, not getting the Ocean Soul super quickly, but still playing. Still the same plan.
Quickly taking out Contractz as he did not have a chance to move. This global composition of Evil Geniuses just making snap decisions all over the map, and 100 Thieves now has to expect the unexpected. Chasing out Poome here.
Oh, I don't think that's going to work. He will need an
entire gang to get out of this one alive, and some say it's there. It will just not be there this game. Poome's going to go down. They deliver this one over to Goldenglue. Oh, actually, that's going to be Svenskeren's. He takes that.
Yeah, he runs up to the alcove where supports go to die a lot. And now it's going to be the Baron start here for EG. Ryoma, can he get a miracle steal?
That's considered a Viking's death for a support. Get out of here. They're going to be taking that Baron down. The Red Bull Baron now in the hands of Evil Geniuses, and they're going to feel good about this series so far, except for Goldenglue sleeping on the job here. Looks like he'll be safe. Ooh. Nice grab over the wall. Ryoma trying to follow just for a minute to fish for a kill, but he does not find it.
Team player there. Zeyzal sticks around, cancels the recall, allows Goldenglue a way out, saves him from the big bad. Zoe and EG, they find purchase in their global pick. You just got to keep spamming those cooldowns. They're able to find it this time around. Good Twisted Fate ultimate coming through. They get the pick, turning it into Baron, and now they have to make use of their Baron power play, pushing forward to make a deep run into the 100 Thieves base.
Ooh, Sven coming out, actives and all onto Ssumday here as he throws a bit. It's going to be dead for him. Huni actually comes in with a TP. Is that a little later? He couldn't get the kill on Ssumday. This would be huge if Huni buys enough time for the team to get into position. Cody Sun's very low on HP. That's a huge silence. A double kill for Poome. They're looking for more from the side. 100 Thieves, and they will not stop with blood in the water. A volley back as Bang stings tall, and he tries to fire back right in front of the enemy. And nobody can touch him. They're all slow. They're all getting kited. And Zeyzal and Bang set up a hell of a defense there to stop 100 Thieves reinitiation.
40 seconds on the Ocean Soul again here, Riv 2, and this death timer for Goldenglue is going to be synced up only a couple seconds away from the Ocean Dragon arriving onto the Rift. Thankfully, he has Twisted Fate, but his ultimate is not available. His teleport is not available. This should be 100 Thieves setting up Caitlyn traps at the Dragon now. Immediately, they need to go there. This is a big window. Even though there's still Baron buffs alive on Evil Geniuses, they've got to go for this soul. They've got a big advantage. Goldenglue trying to walk from base.
8 seconds to put pressure on these teams. Kobe, give me who you're watching as we start this fight.
You got to keep your eyes on Cody Sun. He had great movement there in and out of the Dragon fight, able to get away in safety. This is going to be Ocean Soul burned down. They got to get it.
Blasting it. Cody Sun's in the pit. He's trying to fire back. They're going to lose one already as Ryoma goes down immediately, but Cody Sun's still free to fire. Zeyzal's now trying to step forward to be the meat wall, and they're going to be able to get a double kill onto Svenskeren for Evil Geniuses. But that's Soul. They now have to bide their time. Cody Sun can clear waves, but it's going to be tough as EG just wants to fight.
Yep, EG, they still have to stay with their same game plan. Try and find those picks. They've got 2 kills right now, so hard push with the remains of this Baron buff. 30 seconds means you've got one more minion wave you can use to try and get some gold for your team. Secondary tower mid, secondary tower on the bottom side as well could be a very viable target. Cody Sun trying to get some defense here in the mid lane, but he doesn't have enough of those traps left stacked up. And it's going to be EG inside the base.
Ssumday getting forced out. Nobody's even needing to chase him. Huni's just going to make sure he can't back for now. And this could be a pull. Svenskeren dashes over the wall, and that's just going to be a minion in the hands of Poome as they try to go for some aggression. Ssumday is able to now walk out Goldenglue and Huni because 100 Thieves escaped the base. They control everything on the map in the way that minion waves flow, the way that 100 Thieves flow right now, because the 100 Thieves can't even get back to their own fountain.
And EG can go for a reset now. Nobody gets caught on their gold mining mission here where they get 3 more towers with the end of their Baron buff. It is dangerous, and they don't have a lot of time to work with because Ocean Soul now on the side of 100 Thieves, even though a large chunk of gold given over in the form of that team fight, they're happy to pay for that and get this Ocean Soul buff because it works so well with their siege and poke strategy. They just now have to worry about the EG Ashe Arrow hard engage. They should also be trying to track the Stand United cooldown. It does get difficult later in the game because the cooldown gets so much lower, and of course Lucidity boots were picked up really early by Huni. But keeping your eyes on that and trying to deflect that hard engage, all you have to do is avoid the first wave of the engage. If you can dodge the Ashe Arrow or Quicksilver Sash or cleanse off the initiation from EG, then your reset is insane. All you have to do is damage somebody, you get crazy regen with your Ocean Soul, and your poke will make sure that EG don't get to play any long standoffs around these objectives.
Setting up a bit of that poke up front here. Ssumday still trailing to make sure he's not seen in the fight just yet, but also looks like he has to do some janitorial duty from what Huni's pushing. So Ssumday heads bot. This 100 Thieves losing a bit of the vision here in the jungles. That's what's going to benefit them for starting off these fights and finding Evil Geniuses at half health from their arrows, from their paddle stars. Mid lane just gets pushed out. So 100 Thieves working together towards bot as Evil Geniuses keep themselves mid. It looks like we're going to get a wait until that Baron and play it, or at least the Elder, Kobe.
Yeah, unless one of these, brush plays pays off for EG. And I love these types of games because it starts to get so tense. EG trying to split the map, trying to get the split push pressure going and force 100 Thieves into a bad decision. While 100 Thieves trying to play around their better, ocean buff. Oh, never mind. They're going to make a play on that bottom side.
As long as it's not a sandbox brush play, we're good. Oh, Abyssal Voyage comes in here. Straight down the lane. So EG, Zeyzal, Bang just put themselves into position. Abyssal Voyage kind of out of reach here, so 100 Thieves doesn't see, but they are moving as a 5-man unit right now, and Evil Geniuses will be seen bot. It's time to dance. They're gonna, ooh, okay, now it's time to dance. Huni got a little close. Mid bot turret's gonna go down. That's the one more inhib turret, rather, for 100 Thieves is left. As this inhibitor will allow super minions to start flying down the bot side. Ssumday does not want it to go down right away. The arrow comes through from Bang, and the fight really hasn't started yet. Huni gets grabbed up. He can still stay safe in this situation as Shen. Not a problem. Poome goes down. Ssumday taking quite a bit of damage in the front line of 100 Thieves. Cannot stay as long as Evil Geniuses, even with this Ocean.
Bang just shredding them on the Ashe with the Hurricane there. Yep. Him and Svenskeren putting out so much damage with double Executioners picked up. Both of them can apply their Grievous Wounds, and Bang just got to stand and fire there, just melting them. Really big insertion here from EG, taking down that bottom inhibitor, and with 2 lanes open in the 100 Thieves base, they're going to have so much to worry about with EG having the multiple globals, drawing them across the map. Super minions on bottom side means Baron bait is ready and active.
Svenskeren having another amazing game for himself. 11, 3, and 7 here as he just kind of took off from the early game to help pressure every lane. Hopefully coming up on a big objective here with Baron and the rest of Evil Geniuses setting up a defensive wall to make sure this happens. Contractz almost down to half HP here. Heals himself up with what he has in that of Thieves and his E, but not as much. And we see 100 Thieves having trouble with even Ocean Drake keeping themselves healthy at this point. EG backs off. Looks like they won't do too much damage to that objective of Baron for now, but it's 30 seconds to Elder Drake, and this is where 100 Thieves can really set up EG.
So 100 Thieves, they want to play, oh, here's the arrow into Cleanse.
Golden going hard. Gorilla Glue on this one as he puts himself in the middle of the fight. Contract's going to be going down on this. Redemption comes through for a bit of the heal, and he is going to get knocked down after this Zhonya's. It's going to be Poome falling, though. Contractz somehow still keeping himself alive, actually, as Ryoma comes through from the side. Looks like they're still scuffing this one out, and then nobody's going to go down. No, it is going to be Huni falling. He lived for ever so long there, Kobe, but still finds himself going down. EG got a bit scattered there, thinking, hey, this fight's over, we're strong enough to win, and then realized 100 Thieves still had a trick up their sleeve. Elder is being started, though, for Evil Geniuses, and this is going to have to pressure 100 Thieves into something.
Yep, got to group up here. 7,000 health and dropping quickly. Contractz on the way.
Contractz just over the wall. If he can hit it with a spear, it gives him much more chance. That's going to be going over to Ssumday. Oh, my God, 100 Thieves get it. They're going to be going through this fight hard. They have to get themselves some distance so they can get out of Cody Sun's kite. Here's Bang, starts to fire back. Who's going to be getting it? It's just the headshots. Cody Sun's Infinity Edge and Ryoma dealing the damage. What a fight for 100 Thieves to come through. Elder's theirs from Ssumday's swipe.
100 Thieves, Ssumday makes another showing here. He jumps in on the Renekton, steals the dragon, and gets the kills for his team. Are you kidding me? That team fight means they get both epic objectives, Riv. What a crazy game that we have had. Even with the Ocean Soul, 100 Thieves being pressured inside their base with constant picks here from EG. And you think, just as they're about to do it again off of those kills, the steal comes in, and 100 Thieves will have the Soul, the Elder Dragon, and Baron #2. Here he goes in, back into that pesky brush in the backside. That comes with an Ocean Soul map, and it's, let's see, 1600. The smite is just early. Contractz didn't even use his smite. That was Svenskeren's smite, and then Ssumday able to get it off that 200 HP. Executes it. They finish up the fight. Getting that steal means Cody Sun could just go forward. He knows he's going to win that stand-up auto attack fight with Bang because he's got the execute. Oh, and now 100 Thieves. See if they can end it with this, Riff.
Oof. What a turnaround. But you almost have to say it was set up for it. Cody Sun, huge all game, getting the items he needed to stay safe, knowing he had to cleanse his ass off throughout every bit of crowd control that came through. And he's 377 CS now because he's been alive for so long, because he's been farming everything. And now it's 100 Thieves on Evil Genius's side of the map in game 2. 100 Thieves coming out strong here. Elder now in their hands as they're ready to emulate their opponents if they get down low enough for that execution. The gold still in favor of Evil Geniuses as they watch their base fall to pieces.
All right, they still have Ssumday in base dealing with the super minions, but they can call his teleport if the engage comes out from EG. So Ashe already looking for the targets, but 100 Thieves have the answers ready.
Cody Sun knows he can stay up front. That was just a cleanse. The Quicksilver Stash from Mercurial Scimitar still there for him. He can still stand up front, and that Ashe won't be up anytime soon. Looking for a gold card maybe that could put the side of EG out of position. So much damage going on to Ryoma. He made a mistake, and now he's going to get taken down. 100 Thieves still has a bit of cushion to work with, but maybe more members to cleanse now from Poome. The teleport comes in as they call Ssumday. He's needed in the fight, but can he make a difference now? Evil Genius is pushing down the mid lane as Ssumday's locked up. The call comes in. He was Furiosity. Oh, but it's not enough to heal him up. And it is going to be Contractz getting pushed out of this. EG pushing as much as they can to find an opening to get these minion waves out of their base so they have time to breathe on the map.
Are you kidding me? EG get the pick, punishing Ryoma, going in for that poke. Elder Dragon buff wears off, so then 100 Thieves can't win the turn either, and Ssumday dies after the teleport. This is such a seesaw of a game, Riv. Now it's EG, though, with the power play. They should have it. The death timer's still long, 400 Thieves.
Pushing back in. Here comes the TP. 100 Thieves doing what they can. Cody Sun standing up front. Remember, Mercurial Scimitar is still there, so we can make a play, which seems like he's out of position. That might throw EG, but they just have too many numbers right now. Ryoma, Paddle Star is now starting to come out. Almost hit Svenskeren. What a dash by him. Seeing that come from downtown, and he keeps himself alive. That would have easily zeroed him out at this point in the game. And a little more time for both sides, Kobe. 100 Thieves wait enough. They get their spawns. They're back on the map. And minion waves are a bit scattered here. Reset on the top side, but we do see super minions coming in multiple lanes.
Holy moly. All right, we are late game, Riv. This is insane. 2 inhibitors down that 100 Thieves have to deal with, and minute and a half left on the Elder Dragon. That will be the first one. Objective to come up and draw them out of the map. Until that time, 100 Thieves trying to clear out Super Minion Wave after Super Minion Wave for themselves on the bottom side. Meanwhile, the inhibitor going to respawn in mid fairly shortly. And EG, the whole time, they're going to be looking for Twisted Fate Ultimate, more picks for themselves. Once again, they can have Shen split push on top side. They just need to keep up the map pressure before this Elder Dragon spawns to try and put 100 Thieves in a bad spot.
Living through the Elder Baron. Evil Genius's mad and master plan. Trying to put that into the works here. 100 Thieves looking for a heist on this one to even up the series. Kobe, what a game so far. Evil Geniuses puts a little more money in their pocket, but really just evening up what the map looks like here. 100 Thieves would love to get the top 2 turrets down. It just means their outer turrets for top and bottom. It just means their minion waves are coming back at them so much quicker, especially
they're
with
going for the pick. Teleport
here. Goldenglue, Destiny down. He gets his distance on that play, and he's going to be safe. 100 Thieves roaming out of the base a bit, but will be able to get back through the gates here to keep themselves safe.
Okay, closing in now. 100 Thieves have to deal with so much pressure. EG are doing such a good job pushing all lanes in setup for this Elder Dragon. Then they can try and retreat over there, not give 100 Thieves enough time to send out poke, try and soften them up and make use of that Ocean Soul.
Zeyzal has a job now. Oh, he has had a job, but he has to devour Bang. That Mercurial Scimitar is just used off a Sleepy Trouble Bubble coming in from Ryoma, so they are able to tag a few things on that could change this fight or give them a window of opportunity. Seems like that may come up. It's already a quarter of the way cooled down here, and the Elder is up. Only vision there is EG's right now, so 100 Thieves does have the Scryers to come up here, or their Alteration Orbs on a halfway cooldown. And they got to get some vision out there if they don't see the geniuses.
And patience here for EG on the split push. Huni
Yep.
just watching the wave slowly take down top tower, while Svenskeren with all of his lifesteal, no problem for him to tank up this Elder Dragon. They don't have to fully commit. They can just try and pressure 100 Thieves in walking into darkness.
Great play by Poome. He's quickly getting over to Cody Sun. Obviously, the arrow's there to just deter 100 Thieves, and Evil Geniuses will get an uncontested Elder, but they're trying to take down Huni and Goldenglue. Goldenglue does not have Destiny again. They're just short on getting a gank towards the top side as Evil Geniuses is skirting around the fight of 100 Thieves.
And now it will be EG's turn with the Elder Dragon and Baron. They starting to chase him down.
Ssumday doesn't want to get too low in this situation, but he goes for the back line. Goldenglue low. Shield comes out here. That's the Stand United. It looks like that's going to be locked up through the fight as we don't see him coming out on the other side. Zeyzal safe. Huni gets himself back. And it looks like Ryoma's taking damage now. Still, a huge scatter as no finalized damage can come through. Bang takes a bit there, and that's going to be Poome going down. 100 Thieves not looking good to start this one off as they were really just trying to react to what Evil Geniuses was doing the whole time. Elder makes it that much easier. And with the bot lane pushing in, Huni has already teleported in to put the final touches on the base. They're trying to rush for him. He gets a good taunt in onto Ssumday. Ssumday going to the back line as he always would to do as much damage as he could going down. Evil Geniuses with the seesaw, as you called it, Kobe. They're going to take this one, and they're pushing 100 Thieves right off of that one and into game point.
Woo! 16 kill game for Svenskeren on the Graves.
Gross.
And EG, they make such good use of their split push. Those globals coming in handy late game. Even fending off the Baron and Elder Dragon push from 100 Thieves. Elder plus Baron plus Ocean Soul. Like that is one of the most lopsided buffs that you can possibly have in the game. And EG bring it home in game number 2. They push us to series point, Riv.
That they do. We are going to take a quick break, and on the other side, we are going to break down that game with the State Farm Analyst Desk. Don't go anywhere.
And we've upgraded her with the Sonic Shield and holographic mapping drones.
Impressive.
There is one more thing.
Ah, Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. With the Drive Safe and Save app, you'll save up to 30% for being a safe driver and get a discount just for signing up.
Well played, Jake from State Farm. As usual.
When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to the LCS. 2-0 now stands the series score in favor of Evil Geniuses, but let's be honest, that win did not come easily. We had 100 Thieves fighting back tooth and nail, even picking up the Ocean Soul, even picking up the Elder Drake and a Baron buff of their own, and yet still the victory slips through their fingers.
Yeah, it is not easy to win when your composition does not give you the tools with which to win. So
Oh, no.
I don't know, man. I'll say, like, maybe EG's comp is, like, kind of strict because, you're only running with 2 real ultimates, the Graves ultimate and the Ashe ultimate. Everything else is pretty much a mobility ultimate. But the way EG played, it felt like they were hamstringing themselves. They kept grouping as 5 even before it was Dragon Soul, so this game seemed a lot harder for EG than it should have. I think if they played this 1-3-1 comp out that their draft is just telling them to, I think they would have won this in a lot cleaner style.
Mark?
Yeah, it reminded me of them playing last game's comp. Like, they were playing last game's comp with Ori, Ornn, but, like, oh, now we have, globals all over the place. The one thing that is working out for them is that Sven is hulking out in the jungle, and they're winning fights early. As much as we're talking about the globals not using the pressure well, not macroing quite correctly, at least when it comes to 5v5s, it does feel like EG are a stronger team in that regard. I just want them to pick comps that highlight that as opposed to this macro-oriented global comp.
Yeah, they definitely took the initiative in the early game to build the lead, but then in the mid-game seemed to kind of lose their way, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that kerfuffle down bot, the last 3 games, EG versus TSM, that has happened. And the first one, Crumbs mentioned, but 100 Thieves won out on it. But the last 2 games, EG has won out on this teleport bot, and we're going to have a really early fight. But yeah, once we got into the mid-game, Svenskeren had a big lead. TF had some gold on him. Shen was kind of in the dumpster. They needed to split up the game and not just focus on these 5v5s as often as I thought they were.
There is another aspect to this that I want to point out that is very similar to our yesterday's series. Yes, Ssumday's really good on Renekton, but I don't think the champion is giving him enough tools to actually win the game. The amount of effort he has to put out to just try to push 100 Thieves over the finish line is ginormous. If you put him in another champion that can just do a little bit more than Renekton, I think you could be a lot more competitive here. Yes, he's getting some advantages, but champions like Camille that we know he's really good at, or a Jace, are going to have a much easier time translating those leads into a solid team fight win, whereas with the Renekton, I'm just not seeing the same kind of impact that we need to see from him in the wins that are revolving around the top lane.
Right, it's a more snowball-oriented champ than some of the other carries, which continue to scale throughout the game. 100 Thieves are not a good snowball comp or team, so like even though you can take this, it's not going to actually get you the win because Ssumday gets a 50-60 CS lead like he had this game, is really good, but then can't actually go 1v9 people or force these different fights. He's always just kind of stuck playing the frontline duty, and this was the one play where they finally got to use all their globals correctly to find.
I was going to say, this is the winning moment.
Yeah, this was the big one. Well, one of many winning moments that later turned into not winning moments. But this should have been a winning moment where they used all their ults correctly to find pickoffs in the top lane.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But I think that's the thing, right? Is it's honing in on for Evil Geniuses. One of our major criticisms for them has been their macro game. Like we said, they built a nice lead here, but closing it out is always going to be a question mark for them. And while it was Sven who sported the highest number of kills, Mark, I think the thing we want to recognize here is that Bang is quietly performing in this series, and in a lot of ways keeping them in it when it comes to that second game specifically.
He has some monster team fights, if you go back and rewatch this game, that was the sole reason they didn't lose. We saw one where he was able to kite out Ssumday, but he had a couple like that, and even though Sven was the turbo-fed Graves, it was Bang in team fights being huge.
That damage per minute, too, almost at 1,000 is outrageous. I mean, think of how long that game was, right? Like, he kept those numbers up for quite some time. It's that Hurricane IE Ashe doing a lot of work.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like... Oh, sorry, probably.
Oh, sorry. This is kind of reminiscent of EG of playoffs in spring. Like, Svenskeren was controlling the early game really well, and then Bang would show up in teamfights and do these obscene numbers. So I do hope this is a trend that continues in this series, because I would like to see Bang step up more. The Ashe looked really good. I thought the Xayah was okay. I just hope he keeps his kind of performance, and this is kind of what we see EG come back to.
And Mark, you're right. I called that earlier play the win play because it probably should have been, but the actual winning play comes about 10 minutes later into the game around the second Elder Dragon of the game.
Well, this is actually, I think, the one where 100 Thieves almost found their way back.
Ssumday gets it.
Yeah, that's right. Contractz actually had a number of smite steals this game. He was able to, keep them in the hunt for the soul. Then they actually ended up getting the soul. They got the Elder. And I think that just speaks to some of the problems that EG was having. They finally used their 1-3-1 comp about like 3 or 4 minutes later. And early in the game, it was actually 100 Thieves who were setting up the freeze and putting macro pressure onto EG, and EG did not break the freeze correctly. Then they lost bot turret. They fell behind super far in CS in a number of lanes, despite being the team that should have the easier time playing macro with all the extra globals. And I'm totally turned off to the idea of them playing these. I think Shen still works, but put it with a normal front-to-back team fighting team comp and just use the global as a frontline/shielding tool.
Well, it's reverse sweep time for 100 Thieves. If they want to keep their postseason dreams alive as they are in an elimination best of 5, they've elected to go to red side with side selection. So at least where my brain first goes is, of course, right back to top lane. Red side looking for that counter pick for Ssumday. Crumbs, I know you don't love the Renekton, even though he's built an advantage in 2 games now with it. What would be, the dream counter pick scenario for Ssumday to be set up to win here?
Ssumday can pick whatever he wants, I think, as long as he has a solid matchup. Camille, the Jace, Jax, whatever it might be. What I actually think matters more is not that Ssumday has to do more, is some have to do a little less. Less dying. Poome, less dying. If he can dial it back, you can free up a lot more space for the rest of the team to work around the advantages that you're getting in the top lane. I think a combined 2-game score, it might be like 15 deaths, I think. Maybe I'm exaggerating here, but it's close to that. He just has to stay with the team, control himself, and I think that's going to yield a much better result on red side for 100 Thieves.
We called out at the top of the day Contractz as one of the other top performers for 100 Thieves with his aggressive style jungling. So far, the Nidalees, while the individual performance might be there, has not brought the team a victory. Would we want to see him move to something else here in Game 3, take a stab at something different?
I think the Graves works. I think the Olaf's getting banned, so that would be the one that I'd like the most, but they're never going to give that to him. And I think getting off the Nidalee into the Graves could be the answer.
All righty. Well, gentlemen, it's the 11th hour, and 100 Thieves are on the edge of elimination. We'll see if they can pull out a win in Game 3 right after this short break. Stay tuned.